Things sell better in the world of action movies than the good guys locked in an engaging gun battle with the bad guys. The love for such gunfight sequences have grown over the years, and as a result, more and more movies have included such action-packed scenes. The quality of the scenes has also grown over the years with better technology. To spice things up further, the makers have explored the concept of gun-fu in movies. This is a mixture of a gunfight along with hand-to-hand combat involving martial arts. Although initially it was a characteristic of Hong Kong cinema, slowly it was popularized in the USA as well. Moments where all guns are blazing and fight scenes are getting berserk, then these movies would be pure gold for you.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Drive, 1997. Drive is a movie that is clearly not driven by its story. It's as basic as a guy named Toby, on the run from an evil corporation. The evil forces killed his girlfriend and placed a bio-engine inside him that gave him superhuman speed and strength. Now, he comes to America, and with the help of an accomplice, tries to evade the corporation that is in hot pursuit. The only reason that the plot exists is for the makers to move from one action scene to another. The fight scenes in this movie are to die for. The filming of these scenes is unique, with sharp camera movements at precise angles to give you the best shot. Even with the fast-paced choreography, you won't miss a move. Starring Hawaiian martial arts expert Mark Dacascos in the lead role, this film hits the right chords with the action scenes involving kung fu. However, it is not all about mindless fight scenes. The script has some cheesy comic elements as well to inspire a few laughs. If you plan on watching this movie, remember to get the director's cut, because the US version cuts 20 minutes of precious footage from the movie. This is an absolute gem for all the action movie junkies out there. Hard Target, 1993. The father of a young woman named Natasha Binder is missing. While she looks for him, she hires a tough man named Chance to help her in her quest. They stumble upon a sinister plot where a mercenary is hired to kill the homeless for amusement. Chance has incredible fighting skills, and he must protect Natasha as they take on the evil organization that is responsible for the crime. There are scenes in this movie that are beyond logic. For instance, one scene shows Chance standing on top of a speeding motorcycle as it heads towards an oncoming car. But you are not here for the rationality. You are going to enjoy every bit of the ridiculously exaggerated action scenes. The gunfight behind the wall between Van Damme and Vosloo is particularly exciting. The famous action director John Woo teams up with the legendary Van Damme, and the duo delivers this classic entertainer. With John Woo being notoriously famous for some iconic gunfight scenes, this movie too does not disappoint. An arsenal enough to wipe out a small country is used against the hero, but to no avail. Get a hold of the director's cut, grab a pizza, and enjoy this beautiful action movie for a fun evening. The Big Hit, 1998. What happens if a hitman falls in love with the woman he kidnaps? Well, you are about to find out in the movie The Big Hit. The protagonist, Melvin Smiley, is a notorious hitman. But when he falls in love, his world changes. He is, however, in for a nasty surprise. The woman he kidnapped is no ordinary woman, but the goddaughter of the mob boss named Paris. This is the perfect action comedy. And if you're up for a dark and complex storyline, this isn't your cup of tea. The characters are amusing and well cast. And if you have a sense of humor, you are in for a hilarious ride. There are some unrealistic fight scenes, but they just add to the theme of the movie. Don't miss the amusing car chase scene that is ridiculous and yet so much fun to watch. Mark Wahlberg is terrific in the role of a compassionate hitman, and Lou Diamond Phillips is perfect in his role. As long as you accept the fact that it's a spoof, you will love this movie. District B-13, 2004. The movie takes place in a futuristic society where some of the worst ghettos in Paris are walled off. District B-13 is one such ghetto, and it is ruled by a crime lord named Taha. An ex-thug, whose sister is kidnapped by Taha, seeks the help of an undercover cop to rescue his sister. But there is a much greater threat. Taha has stolen a neutron bomb, and it must be recovered in time before it detonates. Can the two men defuse the bomb successfully? You must watch this entertaining movie to find out. Right from the jaw-dropping opening act, this movie is an absolute adrenaline rush. David Ball and Ciro Raffaelli perform their hearts out, and their amazing choreography would remind you of a young Jackie Chan in action. They use minimal special effects and rely mostly on their natural stunts to get the fight scenes right. The camera work is to the point, with smooth, fluent shots. This is in line with the fast-paced narrative that never allows a dull moment to creep in. Besides the mind-boggling stunts, the crazy gunfight sequences will always keep you on your toes. This movie is in its native language, so remember to watch with subtitles. Shoot 'em Up, 2007. A man named Smith is sitting quietly at a bus stop in the middle of the night when he sees a pregnant woman being pursued by some gunmen. He rescues her and helps her to deliver the baby, but the woman dies. Smith is now determined to save the baby from the gang that is after her. He takes the help of a lactating hooker to care for the baby, but soon they become a family that is on the run from the relentless gang. Can Smith shoot 'em up and save the child? What do you expect from a movie where a newborn's umbilical cord is cut with a gunshot? This film promises action aplenty, and also some gruesome deaths, such as when a man is killed by shoving a carrot into his mouth. There are standoffs, car chases, and numerous gun battles. The scene in the firearms factory has one of the greatest gunfight sequences ever. Clive Owen is decent in his role as the good guy gunman, and Paul Giamatti is impressive as the witty villain. If you're not much for action, you can always enjoy the sultry Monica Bellucci on screen. The wild sex scene where they are caught in the act by the members of the gang is truly remarkable. If you are an action buff, this movie will be a great choice for a movie night. The Replacement Killers, 1998. A hitman named John Lee is assigned to kill a cop's son, but he has a change of heart and is unable to complete the task. He knows that his boss will now hurt his family in China and must somehow get back with forged papers. He contacts someone who can help him with the papers while the police and the gang are after him. There are replacement killers who have been hired to finish off John Lee. This movie is bolstered by the presence of Chow Yun-fat and the diva, Mira Sorvino. The duo share unique chemistry in the film where they don't even kiss, and yet make the screen sizzle. As for the action element, the makers hit the bullseye with some hard-in-your-mouth moments. The scenes in movie theaters, car washes, and alleys will give you gunfights where you least expect them to take place. The scenes are shot in the Hong Kong wannabe action film style and derive strongly from John Woo's style of work. The movie is 80 minutes of a remarkable thrill ride that you will love. Hardcore Henry, 2015. This movie starts with a bang and ends with one. The story is that of a man named Henry, who wakes up in a laboratory. He's told that he was brought back from the dead as a half-robotic, half-human entity. He no longer remembers his past life, and just as a woman tells him that she's his wife, armed goons kidnap her. Now, he must rescue his wife from the gang that has a psychopath leader who plans to destroy the world. This film is certainly not for the squeamish and has some extreme violence. The movie is shot in a first-person point of view and yet isn't as choppy and shaky as you would expect. You have probably never experienced action scenes filmed in the first person. There are some crazy fights, gun battles, and for some, the action sequences are a bit cartoonish. Whatever the movie lacks in realistic fights, it makes up for with the camera angles. Besides the menacing action, there are also some hilarious scenes in the film to lighten the mood. The gamers will find some elements inspired by popular games like Counter-Strike, Modern Warfare, and Mirror's Edge. If you love such stuff, you will have a field day while watching this movie. Desperado, 1995. A musician turned killing machine, El Mariachi, seeks revenge for all the wrongs done to him. A drug kingpin named Bucho killed his girlfriend and shot him in his hand that caused him to never play the guitar again. Bucho rules over a Mexican bordering town, but when El Mariachi comes for revenge, his gang is about to encounter a powerful force. Mariachi finds some unlikely allies in his quest of seeing the end of the ruthless drug lord. This is the kind of movie that requires no story, because it can impress with a few scenes and the presence of Salma Hayek. For many, they can just sit back and watch this enchanting lady take a walk. The action scenes in Desperado are over the top, but that is how the makers intended it to be. There are some humorous moments as well, and the cameo by Quentin Tarantino is amusing to the core. During the gunfights, the men fly through the air after being shot, but even these superficial scenes never fail to entertain. Antonio Banderas does an amazing job as the heroic, revenge-seeking protagonist, and the other members of the cast support him well. You don't always watch a movie for its classy content. Go and watch Desperado for the sheer entertainment. Hard Boiled, 1992. While conducting a raid on a drug smuggling operation, a detective is killed. His partner swears revenge on those who are responsible and takes the help of an informant in their midst. The mobsters are embroiled in a civil war, and little do they know that the detective has teamed up with an undercover cop to bust their illegal activities. This movie is directed by the legendary director John Woo, a man known for some lethal action movies. He does not disappoint, and for many, this is among his best works. There have been few Hong Kong action flicks that can match up to the brilliance of this one. Chow Yun-fat and Tony Leung play their respective roles effortlessly, and the former is particularly brilliant with his stunts. Those who love a nice shootout will love the warehouse scenes, and also the scene where a motorcycle is shot amidst explosions. A hospital siege is another breathtaking scene that will please the fans. Hard Boiled is often termed as the action fan's wet dream, and we don't find such claims to be an exaggeration. Wanted, 2009. What happens when a boring office worker learns that his father was a professional assassin? His world is turned upside down, and things further change when he realizes that he shares the superhuman combat skills of his father. When his father is murdered, the organization that hired him recruits his son and trains him. Can he follow his dad's footsteps and avenge the killing? Dark humor and action are like a match made in heaven. The movie derives from this theme, and thus never disappoints those who are looking for pure entertainment. James McAvoy seals the deal with his sarcastic narration, and for many, it is one of the best performances in his career. Morgan Freeman and Angelina Jolie are impressive in their roles. The action scenes are not realistic, and they were never supposed to be. The bullets curve, and heads get punched as you hear gunshots every few minutes into the film. Besides the violent and stylized action, there is also some sexual content, and a few jokes to lighten the mood. The climax has a twist that you would least expect. Overall, treat this as a harmless popcorn flick, and you won't be disappointed. The Good, the Bad, the Weird, 2008. Movies based on treasure hunts seldom go wrong, and this one surely doesn't. The plot is based in 1940s Manchuria, and it tells a story of two outlaws and a bounty hunter. They're all being pursued by Chinese bandits and the Japanese army, and they seek to get their hands on the treasure by following knife fights, and cool motorbike scenes make for constant thrilling moments for the entire duration of the film. A Chance.